Today we're going to show you how to create an agent in Microsoft Copilot. As we train more and more of our customers how to create an agentic experience inside their companies and actually begin to get work done through the use of agents, it's interesting. People pause and they get a little concerned. You can tell from the silence they've not done it. So when you say, hey, have you played with AI? Some people will say yes, some will say no, some will say a little bit, which basically means they're using AI as their search engine, basically AI as Google, instead of really looking to solve problems or create business value in a way that is systemically repeatable. And so examples are through Microsoft. There's a payables agent, right? So it will completely process your payables within Microsoft Dynamics Business Central, thus eliminating the need for a human being to actually have to interact with those payable files before the actual check run, right up to approval. So we're going to jump in. We're going to show you how to do that. I'm going to open my browser. And as you'll see, I load quite a few tabs, convenience sake, but we are an EOS company, so I've got my Vision Traction Organizer, I've got my LinkedIn because I'm active, I've got our Business Central, and then I've got my Microsoft sites that I use frequently. And so as you look at my screen here, you'll see that we're in chat. So chat equals just about search. Have a conversation with your AI. But down below here, I've set up a couple of different agents to help me with my work. So we're going to take a look at my marketing agent right now. And so what you'll see, if I go into edit, and we're going to do this together in just a second, but I'm going to show you the end result that I came up with my marketing agent. So it starts out and it's going to ask you to describe. If you back up a tab, it just shows you the top, but walk it through what you want this agent to do. My description actually gets captured here. And so I'm not going to read it to you, but it's going to be my strategic thought partner. And here are the areas, the instructions where I want it to focus. And then where is it going to learn its material? How do I train it? And so I went through. In this case, I said, look, I want you to focus on specified sources. This means that it's going to limit the potential for a hallucination. It's not going to eliminate it altogether, but it's going to mitigate it. Because I want it focused on material that I know is curated either by us or by someone that I respect and have vetted. And so I have a few sites. Here's our website. Here is some Microsoft online information. This is our VCIO Global YouTube. And then this is our podcast that we do, CIO Lifeline. Then there's a few books that I like, and so we loaded those, and then I pointed it to two of our SharePoint sites as well. And so that is the training that I am able to load into this tool. And so once I've done that, it will actually allow us to interact with this tool. So I can go in and I can say, and you'll see my past conversations with it, but I'm looking for Craig to introduce me to some of his LinkedIn folks, and so that drafted that response for me. Fairly simple, quick, easy. But in this case, for 2026, VCIO Global is going to focus on our personal networks in the northern Indiana and southwest Michigan area to grow our referral business. we will ask professional network and our existing clients to introduce us to companies that would benefit from strategic technology to their business strategy. You are an expert. What am I going to call that? You are an expert at networking and using social media to grow our referral base. Interview me asking one question at a time, up to 5 questions. You can do less or more, but 5 tends to be good for me, to help you create a strategy and social media plan this effort. Close enough, right? So it's going to pop through. It's going to go through all of this. It's going to think about what I've asked it to do. There's a concept, so context, role, interview, and task. So what is the context behind what I'm asking this agent to do? What is the role that it's playing in this job? So question 1, right? So I'm going to look at my big screen here just for a second. This will help me. So if I look at this and I'll say, issues, personas in your knowledge base. So you get the idea. So it's going to walk me through these and it's going to create a plan. All right. So it's telling me who these are my best folks that are going to refer to us. And then it's walking me through, how do I want to create this plan? So you get the idea. How should I engage, right? And so now, if I go and back to my base in our home here, we have an option to create an agent. So I'm just going to click this and we're going to start a new agent right where you're at. No matter what you're doing, sit at your desk and think for a few moments about a problem that either takes too much of your time or frustrates you and you'd like to have some help solving it, right? And so I need to create more compelling video. Can't type either. For our LinkedIn social media better resonate with our target personas. So it's going to walk through. Now there's a few that it asks you, right? So it'll give you some options to pick from and you can view all these templates. There's probably about 40 of them right now, more elsewhere. But it's going to walk through and say, okay, here's some ideas on how we can do this work that you've described to me. So it's thinking away and it's doing its thing. a little slow this morning, but you get the idea. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create because I don't want to wait for it anymore. Because once you hit create, then it's going to take you to the configure button here, and it's going to light up a few more options for us. In terms of what we want this to do. So it got my basics in here. Now it wants to know, where do I want to find things? So in this case, I do want it to use some new sites because I want to be able to get ideas that might be outside of our organization. If I had spots here, particular website, SharePoint or something, I would upload that there, so I can upload from the device. I can attach cloud files just the same way you would attach any other cloud file, right? So if I go and grab my VCIO marketing and say, look, I want everything in this marketing deal. So I select that, and off we go. That one's trained. My marketing folder's up here. What do I want this to do? Well, I might want it to do any number of things. So I'm going to go ahead and say, look, I might want a little bit of documents and charts in my video. I also might want to have some images. Now, specialization is important, right? So the fewer of these things you can ask the agent to do across a bunch of different stuff, the more focused and the better it will be at its task. But as you can see, we get down to the bottom here, and that's really the end of how I train this agent. And so for that reason, where I really like to go is Copilot Studio. So if I go back here, and I'm going to go to my Microsoft websites, and I've got Copilot Studio. Now this is a very similar looking experience, right? I would start with my description. But when I come down to this particular agent and we open it up, you're going to see that you have a lot more tools that you can add. And actually, they use the name tool. They have agents. And so now, if you start with Copilot Studio, and you see this is my Vice President of Marketing agent, right? So the same agent that is right here is right over here. You just publish it to your organization when you're done with this one. And so this, you can see these are my instructions. And so I can build this agent, I can publish it, I can add all types of new or workflow type activity from here. And then as you get this working with other agents and it can hand off tasks, you can begin to monitor what's been going on with this agent. And so you can see this one hasn't been out real long. I just created it about last month sometime. But when you get here, you can manage all your agents from this dashboard. And so you can see this one, I'm going to minimize that. This one is protected and it is published. And so this one is open for business and ready to be used. You can explore agents, and there are all type of training information here. So you can take your, I always start with quick start. Let's get one up and running, let you play with it, and then circle back to Copilot Studio, because you want, start simple, get something up and running, and start to use agents, because it will save you time. It's going to save your company money. Now, two other things I'm going to mention. These are two new ones that just came out. There's Researcher and there's Analyst. These are pre-built agents. They ship with Copilot. And similar to what you're thinking, right? If I was going to do research, which I did, on potential markets for us to focus on in 2026, I might use the Researcher role. It's a deep thinking analysis tool that helps present well thought out material. It was really good. And then the other is analyst, right? Think more Excel and heavy data crunching. So if I got to look at a bunch of statistics and all kinds of data and come up with some synthesized thinking around what I believe this is telling us, then I might use that analyst agent. So I hope this has been a useful, quick tutorial. I'm going to give you one more piece of information. I'm going to go down and I'll click this create and deploy agent. I like this walkthrough. It has screenshots. It's going to give you all the information you need. And so hopefully you can capture this from our video. Thanks for watching. I hope this has been valuable and you have a good rest of your day.